Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. I'm here with Jake, and we have a great episode for you tonight. Here's what we're going to be covering. We have some exciting things happening in the world of HomeGymCon, so we're going to update you guys first. Then we have some product teasers. That's new stuff that is going to be hitting the market soon. We have our survey results from last Sunday's Sunday survey, which you can find over on Instagram if you do not participate already. And then Jake's going to give me a product pitch with his product idea. So we're going to start it off with a little HomeGymCon update. Welcome to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast, where we dive deep into the home gym scene. Each week, we put out Sunday surveys where you tell us your thoughts on products, builds, and all things home gym related. We're here to break down the numbers and to talk shop. So thanks for listening, and let's get started.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Let's go over the HomeGymCon update. So we have one new equipment supplier as a vendor. That is Freedom Strength Co. They specialize in strongman equipment. We'll also have Matt Wenning down in French Lick. Huge get for the convention. He'll be doing a live podcast on the Home Gym History podcast with Rob. And then he'll also be doing a meet and greet somewhere within the convention as well. So really cool opportunity to meet Matt. We've added some additional sponsors, and actually we have First Form. So First Form will be coming to French Lick as a vendor, but they are also the official supplement company, the official supplement provider of HomeGymCon, and we'll be handing out plenty of supplements and energy drinks and et cetera, adding a lot of energy as well to the atmosphere. So really pumped about that. Bells of Steel is stepping up as the bench squat and deadlift sponsor, so they're helping us fill up that area of the convention. Surplus Strength helping us with pulley systems, so they're the official pulley supplier. And then Belt Fed is bringing quite a bit of belts for us for people to use while at the convention. And all of these sponsors are doing some other things to help as well. So we really appreciate those, but these sponsorships are the start, and will help us take the convention to the next level. And then lastly, we haven't done a great job of emphasizing this part, but there will be lots of giveaways and then many exclusive discounts for everybody that goes to the conference. So for example, we'll have a torque tank there. Someone's going to be taking that away, and we'll be continuing to add to that list, and then also the exclusive discount list as well going forward.
Yeah, bring a bus, bring a large vehicle, attach a trailer to your cars. There's a high likelihood that you could possibly get your hands on some of these giveaways. Talked to Jake, and as he's reaching out to these companies to get equipment, we talked about giving away as much as we can so that attendees of HomeGymCon have a chance to take some home gym equipment with them when they leave.
Yep. Bring the bus. Bring your truck. Bring your truck. All right, next up we have we didn't see any specific new products released in the last week, but there's been a number of teasers, which Adam is going to go over.
Yeah, so these are products that have been shown by companies but are not available for purchase yet. If you are looking at the picture, you're seeing them all and probably have seen them on social media if you're in the home gym community. We'll run through them really quick, and I'll ask Jake what his favorite or what he's most excited for. Okay, so the first one comes from Rogue. It's the Arnold iron. It's from the Arnold. It's that, Arnold pose with this 3/4 back on the 45-pound plates. They look really slick. I'm not sure what they're finished in, but they almost have like a nickel finish. It looks really nice. Below that, we have the Bells of Steel Blitz rower to go along with their Blitz bike. They had a vote, a little poll on which color scheme that people liked best, and so they've been teasing that product. Next to that, coming to HomeGymCon as well as Bells of Steel, we have Black Widow with an open trap bar. So in the selection of open trap bars, this one from Black Widow. Again, another HomeGymCon attendee is Surplus Strength, and they have previewed their yoke and are bringing it to HomeGymCon. And then lastly, some attachments for the 1000 series from Rep. They don't have a ton of attachments, so this is pretty cool. They're adding flip down safeties and strap safeties to their $400 power rack, which you can see over my shoulder. So I'm excited for that one. Jake, which one do you like the best as far as like which one catches your eye? It's like, oh, that's slick.
Man, I feel like those plates are just a game changer.
They're sick, huh?
They are sick. The open trap bar and the yoke are also sick. But those plates just look like game changers, especially if they are actually produced for the public. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like that's a piece that you bring in and you don't just store on the side of your rack or in some storage. You put them up on the wall and display them.
But I will say we gave Patrick from Bridgebuilt a lot of credit for his quick release yoke. This looks like an easier to adjust yoke than the standard with the pin right there. So that is something to keep in mind as well. At least I think there's something that makes it feel like it would be easier.
Yeah, it looks like you can slide up and down the height adjustment for the yoke part of it. Pretty
right,
easy.
And with the pull-up bar at the top, it should keep those straight from like the issue is usually when you pull it apart, like the post pull down and it gets finicky to put up and down. So yeah, cool. And honestly, if we have the Black Widow open trap bar up there as well. If you look at some of the pictures more in depth, or just like closer up, you can see the detail to it. Like it has the spider web logo, and it's also a pretty sweet bar. So yeah, my vote would not go for the 1000 series safety straps.
Well, that wouldn't make sense for you, but yeah. That wouldn't be my vote for the most exciting, but I'm probably going to get something like that.
All right, let's move on to those survey results. So, number one, and this would sound absolutely crazy. This data would sound absolutely crazy if you said it to the average Joe. But most answering these surveys don't own just one barbell. So about 80% actually own multiple, which is like crazy, but makes sense if you're, in the weeds like us and keeping in mind who's answering these questions. But that is up 21% from last year. And then also only 3% own zero. So barbells are king.
Yeah, and then we went ahead and polled people on their interest in a pulley system, and very few have no interest, meaning that most have a interest in a pulley system. So with that data, we have about 70% saying they, yes, have interest in a pulley system. 24% say they do not have a pulley system, but they have interest in it. And then 7% don't have a pulley system and are not interested in that as well. The amount of people who own a pulley system, that's up 21% from the last time we polled last year.
Not surprised that there's more pulley systems this year. All right, next up. So Rogue is still the go-to power rack for most if you're just given the opportunity to choose between Rogue, Rep, Titan, and other. So in this year, Rogue received about 39% of the votes. Rep received 35%, so not too far behind. Titan was at 10%, other at 17%. And I'll just quickly go over the changes from last year as well. So we asked this same question about the same time as last year. Rogue is down 19%. So they were at 48% last year. Rep is up 45%. Titan down 14%. And then other is flat. So other is probably like, surplus strength, bells of steel, et cetera, Bridgebuilt, et cetera. So that's flat. But as we've seen, the trend is continuing with Rep definitely eating into Rogue's numbers.
Then we went ahead and asked the question, which is more difficult for you? Is it working out enough or resting when necessary? And coming from a lot of people who have gyms in their home. Being that this is a home gym website, resting when necessary is a lot more difficult than working out enough. Yeah, it makes sense. It's my favorite place to be in my house, Jake. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that would be the case more, but it was way closer with just 53% voting resting when necessary being more difficult.
Yeah.
And it's really not surprising though, because we saw this data last year and it's about the same as what we saw. So, all right, next up, I was really curious to see. I just don't see as much chatter about the Rogue Echo Bike, and part of that it might just be different audience, but there's also quite a bit more competition with Titan, Bells of Steel, Fringe came out, and they're all like cheaper or have more options. So we asked the level of interest in the Rogue Echo Bike, and the amount of low votes was actually up 30% from last year. So about 47% voted low interest. Yeah. So the amount of medium votes was down 18%, and the amount of high votes was down 14%. And the amount of low interest in the Rogue Echo Bike is up.
We had a question about training barefoot, whether you do it or not. 36% of people train barefoot at least once a week. 24% own barefoot shoes. And then on top of that, another 21% are interested in barefoot shoes. Since I have a basement gym, it's temperature controlled, I'm barefoot down here unless I'm stepping onto a piece of machine that like I would need shoes for. Jake, what about wintertime training in the garage? I know your garage is heated, but it still has to be like a little chilly. Are you still training barefoot?
No, I am using barefoot shoes,
Okay.
and I love them. And
What kind do you have?
Barefoot.
Oh, we had this conversation.
Yeah. BEAR. And yeah, I love them. I work out in that. Yeah, the ground is too cold. Not too cold, but
Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with it. And they've been a huge help, and they feel really natural. I usually walk in them too, like if I'm walking my dog. I walked today in the snow with them, and I love it. I wouldn't necessarily say I like have noticed my feet getting stronger over the last few months, but for whatever reason, I like using them. I wouldn't say I'm like an expert on the subject, but I definitely think it's worth checking out.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what'd you pay for them, and like, what is an appropriate price for like barefoot shoes? Do you know?
Oh, okay. So I think I bought them in November during Black Friday sales, and I paid over $100.
Okay.
And I would say I don't mind the look, but they're not necessarily something I want to wear out in public. And my wife definitely doesn't like the look. So, she hates them. Doesn't even like when I wear them when I'm working out. But I don't really care. I like them. I definitely see a market where like better looking barefoot shoes have an opportunity, and also cheaper. They're all super expensive.
Which doesn't make sense. It seems like you're taking out cushion. Like, why is it more expensive?
I don't know.
Because you're not selling as much volume, so you have to make up for it. That's interesting.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But they're more expensive. They're not as good looking. I do like those Tolos ones. Have you seen those?
No.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. They're like, I actually have him coming on the podcast sometime soon.
Oh, sweet.
He's a former hockey player and got into barefoot shoes. I think I don't know the story, but I'm going to find it, find out. But yeah, he's trying to bring them to market in a more socially acceptable way, I think so. But Basement Brandon reviewed them. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it seems like he's pretty positive about them.
Cool.
All right. Anyways, let's move on to the last section, which is a product idea from me. All right. So it was probably a couple months ago. I pitched Adam the single vertical barbell holder standalone. So there doesn't really seem to be any like single barbell holder that you can use that you don't have to attach to a rack or the wall. So I thought maybe if you made a stout option and you'd have to use the correct angles, etc., to put it on the floor, you could make a standalone storage option. So I was thinking, I actually liked that idea. I just didn't know how feasible it is. I think there's some new material that another company is using that I'm not going to mention because there's a product releasing soon coming out with it. But I think it makes this feasible. And I think you could basically create that and then add in connectors so that as you buy more barbells, you can just kind of connect it to the side, and you could choose the size between barbells. So if you had a Mars bar next to another specialty bar, you could make them wider than if you just had two straight bars. So I think you'd have a few different options, size options, connect them, and ultimately it would look like this specialty bar storage that Kabuki used to sell. It doesn't appear that they sold them anymore. So I think this is a storage option that grows as you do. And it does not have to be put into your wall or take up your rack space. Or you don't have to I like the Darko thing, but you don't have to there's probably plenty of people who would just rather not squat with something above their head. So,
yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting too if you could get it like a honeycomb shape so that you could do a straight line, or you could do it in a circle, or you can connect it at different angles and kind of make it bigger space. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't fit like what I would be able to use, so it's hard for me to get really gung-ho about it, but I could see this definitely being a thing. Just on a side note, like my ceilings aren't tall enough. It'd be in between floor joists for vertical storage. But I could definitely see this being something. I don't know how they would connect. I guess that would be for an engineer or whatever. Did you have an idea?
Yeah, I did. I
kind of like a slide on, like
a
puzzle piece type.
Yeah, here's a block, you connect it, and then you can't pull it apart.
Right. Yeah.
I can't figure out a better way to describe it.
What I'm picturing in my head, you saying, is almost like a 3D puzzle piece. And you slide it in and it's fit.
Yep. Yeah.
Makes sense. Cool.
And then some of them are smaller, some of them are wider. I like your idea too of it being malleable. Does that work?
That might be how you use that word. Yeah. I think it's very niche. Then again, in this community, there's only
80% have more than two bars.
So takes up some floor space. I'd give it a 6. Yes, a 6 is my final answer.
I'll take it.
Cool.
That's going to do it.
All right. Well, you heard Jake. That's going to do it for us. If you liked tonight's episode, be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved in our website for all your home gym content needs. Also, be sure to follow HomeGymCon on Instagram and check out HomeGymCon.com to see how we are progressing as we build out HomeGymCon. It's going to be an amazing event, and we want to see you all there. Jake, do you have anything else left for the listeners?
No.
Sorry, guys. Maybe next time. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep lifting.
Yeah.
Bye.